Hey everyone, we are going to be looking more at Invest 92L and what impacts it may lead to portions of the US. Before we could get into the forecast, be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel and turn on those post notifications so you won't miss a single upload or live stream. Right now we are currently looking at the all disturbances in the Atlantic. As you can see, we have Invest 92L that has an 80% chance of a cyclone formation in 5 days. That's as of 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Monday, July 27th, 2020, and it could potentially make impacts on portions of the East Coast, but definitely it is not expected to turn into a hurricane as it is entering some more drier air and will have a more harder time developing, as well as there is some wind shear in that type of area in the Caribbean. Now, we are currently looking at the satellite imagery of Invest 92L. As you can see, very unorganized convection, very low cloud cover, as you can see. So definitely not a very organized Invest right now. But as you can see, that convection is increasing for the more western part of the storm. And you can definitely see that spin, that center of spin that is kind of rotating in that kind of general direction. You're kind of seeing those clouds kind of go up here in that kind of direction, and you're kind of seeing some clouds going down over here. So it's kind of creating that center of rotation as you're seeing there, but definitely not very organized convection wise and cloud cover wise. Global hurricane models, kind of this spaghetti model, as you can see here, does point it will be going through the Caribbean, right where a bunch of wind shear is. So that's gonna really tear the storm apart if it even does make it through there. It definitely will not make very much impacts if it does break it up by then. There's a ton of wind shear in this type of area, so definitely that will break it up unless it does make it through it. If it does make it through it, it definitely will be a very weak storm, probably not even a tropical depression. Most likely will still be a general low pressure system that moves through the mid-Atlantic, but if it does make through it, it potentially may make landfall on North Carolina, that type of area, as you can see there, and possibly Virginia. You could see some impacts from here, but right now it is still developing, as you can see there in the Atlantic. Definitely need to keep an eye on this either way, as it could potentially make some little impacts on the mid-Atlantic. Even Florida could be at risk for this one, but definitely this wind shear and dry air surrounding it right now is definitely going to break it apart here. All of the GFS and symbols on most of them are pointing this is going to either turn out to sea, or this could even go up the East Coast. As you can see there, where that black line is, it's agreeing. All the models are agreeing that this will be going straight up the East Coast if it does make it past that wind shear, which it most likely won't, since there's a lot of that wind shear in that type of area. But if it does make it past, it could definitely make landfall on portions of Virginia and North Carolina. Even Maryland could see some impacts from this, and Delaware. And this will just turn out to sea. As you can see, they're not very much impacts. Maybe the rip currents could be pretty high across those beaches, but definitely not many impacts for really storm surge, rainfall, or winds. CMC and symbols are pretty much the same as the GFS spaghettis, and as you can see, it goes straight up the East Coast and potentially makes landfall on North Carolina. Pretty much the same as the GFS, except a little push more westward, and those that pressure is really not very low, at around 984 millibars, so that'll be around a tropical depression strength, but really not a tropical storm strength, as you can see there, by the time it does make landfall. Finally, the intensity guidance and a Category 1 hurricane is no longer possible with this system, as you're seeing for the model intensity guidance. As you can see, most of them are going into the tropical storm strength and then going back down over here to a tropical depression strength. So definitely could turn into a tropical depression in the next couple of days here, and even a tropical storm strength storm is possible. So definitely a tropical storm is decently likely for this, but definitely a Category 1 hurricane is very, very low. Most likely less than 5% chance for that to turn into a Category 1 hurricane. If it does turn into a Category 1 hurricane, most likely will be that low-end Category 1 hurricane. But this is agreeing this most likely will turn into that tropical storm strength, then go back down to a tropical depression strength. Like I said earlier in the video, be sure to subscribe if you did enjoy the video and do want more of these types of forecasts for Invest 92L and even more tropical activity. Make sure to turn on that notification bell so you won't miss a single upload, and you can even share this to your friends and family if anyone may be impacted by this Invest 92L. Anyways, stay safe.